What's up? So we're here to talk about the topics. First of all, Sean Diddy Combs, Mr. Love, and Cassie, and also later on we can talk about Will and Jada. Now I would say these are topics that I was confused about if I wanted to speak on, but hey, it's just my opinion because I don't have any factual agreements. I'm just speaking as a viewer, a concerned fan. Like I don't have a problem with Will, Jada, P Diddy, or Cassie, and these folks. I'm just speaking on my view of the situation, what I think about the situation, and hopefully you can do the same down in the comment section below. But you entitled to your own opinion because this is just me gossiping, me talking about my feelings, and also making predictions about the situation and stuff like that. Sometimes I do that. But other than that, I really don't have anything extraordinary that I'm gonna be talking about. Now you are at the Per T fam. If you've joined and subscribed, if not, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Well, sometimes you do get inside scoop that probably you didn't know about, not because I've talked to any of these people. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I haven't in this case, but I have listened to stories and synopsis of people who have and gathered information about that. So yeah, but not directly, like indirectly, hearsay, gossip, stuff like that. So the first topic we're going to talk about is Diddy supposedly had abused Cassie and she wanted 30 mil. I'm sorry, it's not funny. That's not why I'm laughing. I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. To be honest, when I heard that story, it was shocking to the fact that you always see people pop out in a very nice way. And I would say when you're in a toxic relationship, everybody would not necessarily know that you're in a toxic relationship because you don't put that image on. Yeah, you may smile for the cameras. Yeah, you may put on your best fit. But that's what they say. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. And that's true. I've been in toxic situations before and nobody would really know that it was toxic. But because I don't want people in my business. So I would go and portray this image like everything was hunky dory. Because that's the deal you don't want. You really don't want people in your business. But at the same time, if you're in a toxic relationship, it is best to get out. But that's when you're done, when you're finalized, and then it's okay to put people in it because maybe they can help you. Even though I really didn't really have people help me, I really got out of the situation myself. But then too, I did have to temporarily do some things to make my transition out of the situation. So yeah, toxicity can exist in any form, whether verbal, physical, abuse. So I'm really sad that she endured that because she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I hope she still knows that. I'm sure she does. I used to always be curious to why her hair was shaved off, and people were saying it's because it got pulled out or something, which is very disgusting. If he was that aggressive, I would say it's very disgusting. And I don't feel like any man should do a woman like that just because they don't want to not be with them. However, I do know some men are into men sleeping with their women, and some women are into women sleeping with their men. It is an actual fetish that some people have. So I can't really knock him for something that he actually is into. What people could do in their bedroom that has nothing to do with me. But I will say that the fact that she was forced into some acts, according to her, as a woman, I wouldn't be here for. But I do understand. Even now, they say he has a high sex drive, and I can admit to how he would have been back then if he's high now. So if that's the case, I can understand if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're providing for somebody, you're with somebody, you would expect them to want to have sex with you whenever you want. However, that's not necessarily the case, especially if y'all have different sex urges. So yes, it definitely would look like inappropriate. However, to the person that's in a relationship, they're thinking like, well, you're my woman, you're my man. So, but no still means no, even if you're in a relationship. But I do feel like if he would have went out and did it with somebody else, that would have probably been an issue too. But then too, when you're so with somebody who's such has a high sex drive, some people wouldn't even mind if they went out and cheated. But some people really don't have control, especially in the early years, to control their urge. Like, it takes practice, it takes growth, it takes years. So if she had to endure that, it is sad. But the sad thing there with a lot of women is a lot of times they don't feel a lot of that stuff anyway, even though men may think they did. But as they get older, they learn to appreciate sex more and they feel it more. Now, some people feel it all the way through, but then some people don't. So hopefully she didn't feel all that. Hopefully didn't mean nothing to her. But I know that it probably was definitely emotionally unfulfilling. So I will say this. Somebody from Danny Kane came out and said, that she been trying to tell people that this is going on. I'm trying to figure out, was Cassidy and Danny Kane? Like, I'm trying to figure out how Danny Kane and this came together. Now, if Cassidy was in Danny Kane, then I'm just late. I'm slow because I couldn't keep up. I don't remember, but that's what it's giving off, because Danny Kane is speaking on the Diddy situation as if they knew, which is crazy beyond me. Now, a lot of people knew that Cassie was a lot younger than Diddy, in my opinion. But at the same time, that didn't mean that he didn't like her, But I will say this. It's also raising red flags as if, is she a citizen or not? Because how can you black somebody who is a citizen and they have rights and stuff unless you have really good power and pull, which I do feel like Diddy has power and pull. He's like higher echelon, top of the tier, to where he knows most all the celebrities, and a lot of celebrities know him, and they come to his parties. So yeah, I feel like he does have a lot of pull, and when you are dealing with somebody who has a lot of pull, you probably don't know who to trust, who to talk to. But the main thing is the authorities, even though sometimes they can even be untrustable. And I'm sure she probably went to the authorities. Not saying that she did actually, but I'm saying she probably did. And probably nothing was done. Because a lot of talk was that he's really was tied in even to secret society, secret services. Like, they say he used to have an entourage that had like mics up and everything. Like, when he walked around, it was like security that was on top level security, and people really didn't play with him. So with that being said, if you got top level security, it's only fair to say that the police may be rocking with you to some form or some respect. And if you don't know, if you're in the certain groups, they say that it goes deep as far as in the justice system. They're connected in to some form, some fashion. So, not saying that you can get help. So I really hate that for her. But if she's not a citizen, that is kind of beyond me. And I will say this: if I dated somebody who wasn't a citizen and I helped them get on, they want to leave me, it does do a blow to you. I will say that. But putting your hands on somebody or forcing them to leave or making them feel bad about it, that's an immature way to think. And I'm sure he was maybe younger when he did do some of those things, if it did happen. But it doesn't surprise me, especially since the fact that he was willing to settle outside of court, and due to the fact that sometimes she didn't really look happy. She just looked like she was there, she was existing, which is very unfortunate. I will also say to the fact that her asking for 30 mil is crazy to me. It's beyond me. And I really hate it for her. Because literally, anybody asking for 30 mils of anybody's money, to me, that's a death sentence to me. Like, even if a person gives you that type of money, like, it's like you're going to ever have to watch your back, because you just not going to get somebody's hard-earned money worth 30 mil that easy. Like, I could say 1 mil, 2 mil, even 10, but 30? And you feel like you owe that. To me, it was given like, we need money and we know you got it, so send it to me. But it's like, you're not even with this dude. You haven't been with this dude. You're clearly starting another family, and your alleged man is supposed to have taken shots at Diddy, and you still want 30 mil. I don't know what was settled for, but hopefully it wasn't 30 mil, because any person, even not even Diddy, I feel like they would have a problem giving you 30 million of their money. And if allegedly he is a person that's connected behind the scenes, like, you don't get that payback. Like, for real, like, that's just only normal. Like, you can't expect to get that much money from somebody and then just dip, especially if you're not with them. So I feel like she asked for too much. And to me, that's like a low blow. And yes, she may have deserved some compensation, but I didn't feel like she deserved 30 mil. And if she feel like she's getting 30 mil, I feel like she may get herself into a situation that may be more negative than good, because honestly, who's gonna give you 30 million of their money? But luckily they supposed to have settled, even though that may or may not be the end of that situation. Who knows? I also would say that I did expect some things to come out about Diddy, because people are obviously getting bold. But I didn't feel like this would be the demise of Diddy. The demise of Diddy, I feel, is something that people won't be expecting. The shocker. Not even the Tupac situation. Like, I didn't feel like that would really be the end of Diddy. In my opinion, just a little per T on me. I really can't speak on the thoughts of what I did think about would possibly be the crazy part to Diddy's situation, and that will buckle him to his knees. Not saying that that's what I want. I'm just saying that that's probably what's going to happen, because allegedly this is not the first situation that people have talked about concerning Diddy. And to me, the breakdown of Diddy in that situation is going to be a shocker for a lot of people, which I can't really speak on, but it's just something that's been in my mind for a while. And it's sad. It's really like unheard of. It's really sad. But in the situation is this: if you do people wrong, they're eventually going to want to get their lick back. Eventually, a hit dog is going to holler. Like, everybody's not going to put up with that for so long. So if it's true, some of the things that's been said in the industry about Diddy and how he rolls and how he maneuvers and how he treats people, eventually some of that's going to catch up to him, in my opinion. I really can't speak on what my thoughts of it would be, because it is of a sensitive nature. But I do have a thought, and I've been had a thought for a couple of years now, and a lot of people won't see it coming, but maybe not. So we'll move on, and we're gonna get into another topic. And a lot of people want to know about the Young Miami situation, but all I can say is she do stay liquored up. So I don't know, that maybe that's a coping mechanism. But anyway, we're gonna go on and talk about. So that's not a good sign. But we are gonna move on and talk about Jada and the Will situation. Um, and we're gonna go from there. Like, a lot of people are surprised that people are saying that allegedly the situation with Jada and Will is more trickier than they thought, because now we've heard rumors of Jada really not feeling Will allegedly, and maybe having extramarital affairs and stuff like that. Well, it's alleged that Will Smith may have also had stepped out in a relationship as far as the male pod. And once again, like I said, this is just me gossiping, me talking. Not that I am aware of any of these people's business. I just am speaking on what I've heard and what I've seen so far. So allegedly, they're saying that Will Smith and Dwayne Martin, or Dwayne, who is Tisha from Gina and Martin's ex, like, they're saying that they have had sexual interactions. However, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith are denying the allegations. And the way that they're saying that this came about is because one of the people that used to work for Will, or his assistants or something like that, of a couple years, is talking. But it's kind of like, is he talking because he mad it wasn't him, or is he talking because of what? Because literally, it's like, why would you say that, and you know what he been had going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, were you jealous? Like, did he step out on you? But hey, if that's the case, that's the case. If that's not the case, then that's just not the case. But that's kind of what it's given, regardless of if it's not or what. But I would say this: I felt like I've been known that Jada and Will have had what they say like an open relationship, meaning that as far as sexual escapades, that it does go different and erotic. Like, I feel like they haven't just been with each other, and I feel like they had a mutual understanding, and I feel like their marriage was more of a business deal, which I feel like most marriages need to be like that, especially if you're looking for like a home, a family unit. Because look at the prices now. Like everything is literally going up. And if you work hard for something, you like want to maintain it in the easiest possible way. And they have kids together, so I feel like they decided early on, like Jada spoke on, like we're not getting a divorce. And I really don't feel like they should get a divorce, even through all this stuff that's going on, because I feel like they've been dealing with this, they've been understood the situation, the assignment. And no, I don't feel like Jada's only been with men, and I don't feel like she is strictly for women. I feel like she may be bisexual, and I feel like Will could very much be bisexual. I feel like her and Will have had interactions together on a sexual nature. I mean, obviously they have kids. So I feel like that gets into the Hollywood part. And a lot of people just speculate that people have to be a certain way. And that's the deal. And they want to put on this image like that's the way people are. But if you're not like that and you're open to other things, I don't see nothing wrong with expressing yourself in sexual terms. But at the same time, I also feel like people don't have to be in your business. So if you don't want to let people know who you've been sleeping with, who you've been with, it's not their place to know. And that's none of their business. You do what you want as long as you and your partner have an understanding. I feel like her and Will has had an understanding, henceforth why he walked up on that stage and he dealt with Chris Rock in a manner that he dealt with Chris Rock. But I will say this, like I said, I haven't talked to these people. This is just me, my speculation. I feel like the Will and Dwayne thing, they've been friends for a minute. I feel like I've heard about that story years ago. Like even when Gina was with Martin, like in the Martin show, and she turned down Martin for Dwayne. I'm sorry. That was a little chuckle because allegedly they said Martin wanted to get with Gina back then and she wasn't really feeling him because her eyes was on Dwayne. But I feel like back even in that time, Will and Dwayne had dealings. Not saying that they did, but it was talk about it back then. However, she didn't know about it. Like that's beyond me. Or maybe she did hear about it. Maybe she didn't care. But her and Dwayne were together for like over, I think 20 to something to 30 years. And people are saying that she had witnessed some stuff. I'm not saying this with Will or with whoever, because allegedly somebody said that it was with a different person that she may have walked in on. However, I feel like I've been knowing that when she did Martin, that Dwayne and Will has allegedly had some interactions back then. So this coming out now is not really surprising to me, but the graphic detail of the man who spoke on it was kind of graphic. Like they was like he was beating it up, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't know, Will, even I feel like his kids know about their mother and their father. And I feel like that's why they're so versatile and free. And I love that for them. Like they just don't give a dang of who they are, and they show up for who they are. But it seems like their parents, because their parents come from a different time, they're really private, and they want to keep things private, which I feel like, yeah, people's bedroom should be private. And what they do in their bedroom is up to them to feel like what they want to share. But I don't feel like Jada and Will are blind to what has happened, even though they are not going to publicly admit to it. And like the fact that they possibly could have lied in our face is kind of scary. But at the same time, like I feel like when you lie about your personal business because you don't want it out, I really don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Because some people don't need to be in your bedroom, and some people don't deserve to be in your private situation because they don't know how to handle it. They will look at it and judge it and break it apart into something that it may or may not be. So I can see why she's standing up and saying that she's never heard of that, never seen that, and is possibly willing to sue, though I don't. Hopefully she won't do that. But she could have the right to do that, But it's been talked for years in my department, and I feel like even that time when Will came on the Oprah show and he kissed his son in the mouth, I feel like he did that because maybe his son watched him kiss somebody. You know what I'm saying? And allegedly, Will Smith back in the day, like in maybe the 80s or 90s, did a show where he did supposedly have intimate relationship with a man. There's a show out on that. Whether it was acting or whatever, there's a show where he supposedly had been in a bisexual or man-on-man relationship. So it doesn't seem that far-fetched for me because this isn't recent. This is like back in the day. And I just feel like women need to accept the fact that just as much as women can go both ways, men can go both ways too. Me personally, I don't judge Will or Jada, but I do wish one day they can learn to live in their truth despite what people think of them, because at the end of the day, like, they're still going to be loved and accepted, in my opinion, regardless of what they do in their bedroom. However, I do understand why they do want to keep it private, because it's nobody's business. Like, it's not like I'm about to join their bedroom. Not saying I wouldn't, but it's not like I'm gonna join their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? I may or may not. I don't know, because it's apparently they be popping off over there. I don't know, because Jada's a beautiful woman. Will is a handsome man. So I'm not saying they don't have access to a lot of things. I feel like that they do. They're powerful people. And I feel like I'm going to still rock with them regardless of their sexuality. However, I do feel like a lot of people may change their viewpoint of them, and that's why they choose to keep a lot of stuff private. So, yeah, what they do in their bedroom is their business, but it doesn't surprise me about the rumors. Because, like I said, I feel like I've been known that about Will, or being heard that about Will. But I do feel like he likes women. And I do feel like Jada likes men to some extent, because Will is a sexy man. Like, you gotta be attracted to sexy men if you like Will. You gotta be attracted to sexy women if you like Jada. So that's understood. And what's understood don't really need to be explained. And especially when it comes to people's bedrooms. So I wish them the best. I wish them healing. And I wish that they can get over the hump. And I don't even want to see them split up. Just because people are in your business, know your business, doesn't mean you have to split up and go separate ways. They just mean that you got to watch who in your circles, and watch who know your business and who's out here willing to share it and tell it with other people. Just because you high up doesn't mean people don't want to check and come up off your success. And that's just a sad part of what's going on. But y'all let me know your thoughts down below, and we can comment further. But I wish them both the best. For real, for real.